Somebody recently told me that they manifested me into their life. And that got me to thinking, someone is manifesting you into their lives right now. And let me be very clear about this. This is not just confined to romantically speaking. You're being manifested into people's lives based on what you have to contribute to this world. If this is your first time seeing my face, welcome. My name is Kepra Sankara. I am a trauma release facilitator and a self-actualization coach. And I empower everyday people with the tools to overcome their trauma responses, their triggers, their negative mindset programming, to live their life as the best, the highest, the freest versions of themselves. So let's go ahead and dive into today's video. So some people are manifesting you or their desired lived experience directly and intentionally, as in they know that they are calling you specifically or a specific experience into their life. And other people are doing it indirectly. They don't know precisely who or what they want, but they're manifesting people and experiences into their life, maybe just by wishful thinking, like tapping into a person or a thing's energetic signature, the way that it feels or the characteristics, the habits, the energy that the person or the thing, the experience exudes, or more often than not, by just the vibrations, the thoughts, the emotions, the words, the actions that this person tends to cue up the most frequently in their life. That's how they're attracting things and manifesting things into their life. And we all do this every single day with our every thought, word, action. And that is the power of the mind and the power of the will, which is why it is so important for us to be mindful of our thoughts and our energetic state. Now, I am not a particularly religious person, but I have studied many of the world's religions and philosophies. And the Christian Bible says the will of God will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And it also tells us that we are the children of God, the Most High, the source of all, the universe, and everything in it. Psalms 82:6 says, I have said that you are gods and all of you are children of the Most High. But verse 7 goes on to say, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. So like, where am I going with this? We are the gods of this plane. We are the gods of this earth. But collectively speaking, we have been operating at such a low level in comparison with what's possible, with our potential. And that even goes for us who have an idea of who we truly are, but aren't yet fully living and breathing that awareness in our every waking moment. And that is why the following verse 7 says, and you shall die like men, because we're not tapping into and harnessing and utilizing this power as we're meant to, as we are expected to, being that we are meant to be stewards of this earth, to care for the earth and every living being on it while we are here in this incarnation. Being that we are the gods of this earth, the extensions of the Most High, the source spirit, look around at what we've been manifesting, either intentionally or by means of apathy and not utilizing our divinely bestowed abilities, and rather just allowing others to manifest whatever they wish without the resistance or the interference of us intentionally manifesting the good that we desire to experience on the grand scale. So this brought me to the concept of free will. Like, do we have free will? I personally believe that we do have free will. But the question is, who among us has the strongest will coupled with action? Because that's what's going to manifest. Especially so if multiple or a multitude of people come together and send their willpower in the same direction towards the same goal. So I kind of see it in my mind's eye like a game of tug of war, especially when there are people on either side of an issue or the intention that we're working to make real. So this is where it kind of gets sticky. People can trick you into giving up or redirecting your willpower, your life force, your creative manifestation power towards an end that they desire to create, but that may require a huge amount of energy to bring to fulfillment. We see it all the time through the use of media tricking people into giving up their energy, their willpower with the promise of protection or peace or something that they desire in return. I mean, honestly, I'm even attempting to awake and stimulate and direct your flow of manifestation power now by telling you to take hold of your energy and focus its direction intentionally. But on the more malevolent side, if we look around us at our communities, at the world, we can clearly see how people get manipulated into sending their energy in a direction that they ardently oppose by the use of fear for survival, humanity, or fear of personal loss, or some kind of lack. So, for example, certain powers or groups of people of influence may desire the resources of a certain country. And so they utilize the public media outlets to sow seeds of fear and the possibilities of danger from this land, or most specifically the people that they desire to ravage or resources from. They sow that fear into the mass population. And since we fear the devastation of war and possibly imprisonment from not complying with their agenda, we ultimately give up our governments the power and the financial resources to amass a huge military force. And that fear eventually creates the involvement in the very wars that we were seeking to avoid to begin with. So, yeah, I know I kind of went off on a little tangent there, but this is why it is so important to harness your power and consciously, intentionally send your energy towards righteousness and the elevation of experience for all beings and all places. We are constantly creating, as is everyone else on this planet. So we have to make sure that what we're creating is beneficial for the highest good of ourselves and everyone else who inhabits this place. So our work is to discipline ourselves in the exercise of strengthening our will by becoming more solid in knowing our truth, number one, and then working both in the physical realm and the non-physical, the mental, emotional, and spiritual realms to make it happen and to overcome the challenges and the interference from those who may oppose us. So what does that look like in practical terms? First, that means taking some time to get clear on your intention. So I recommend doing some form of meditation to clear and focus your mind for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Then you're going to write out on paper the intention that you're bringing into your physical reality. Like, write out the actual steps that you need to take or do to take it from an idea to the physical expression, the real life expression of it. And then just start checking off each thing on the list one by one, doing things little by little. You don't have to do it all in one go. It said that God helps those that helps themselves. So you got to start doing the real work. And as you start doing that work, the more energy and inspiration and resources will cross your path and will be given to you. At the same time, you want to be calling in that vision, that intention in spiritually and non-physically. So through meditation, like we just spoke about, where you quiet your mind and quiet your inner world, quiet your random, non-constructive thoughts, and settle into a meditative state. So for me, it looks like a void. It feels like a womb. And from there, visualize the playing out of your intention from where you are in this moment to the moment that the intention is complete, as if you're seeing it on a movie screen. But then you want to go beyond just a simple visualization and dive into complete sensual simulation, where you are experiencing this intention play out again, but you're seeing it in first person view this time. You see all the vivid real life colors, you're hearing all the sounds, you're smelling the scents, you're savoring the flavors, you're feeling the textures of this intention as it's playing out. Try to see if you can simultaneously or even sequentially hold the first person view, like through your own eyes, the second person view, as in like through the eyes of a friend that's right beside you watching this unfold, and through the third person view. So through the eyes of people at large, people who are further away from you, just watching this intention manifest with you at its core. Then I suggest sending up prayers, and not just the usual supplication or petition prayers, but prayers of thanks. Like literally just speaking to the divine, speaking to God, the universe, source, spirit, whatever you call the creative energy of this universe, just speaking words of thanks, full of emotion, of conviction, as if the intention has already happened. Because in the quantum realm, the quantum physics says that there's no separation between past, present, and future. Time is just a construct of the mind. Time is the fourth dimension. So we're moving out of the third dimensional self, where things are just happening to us. We're just experiencing things, into our fifth dimensional self, where whatever you think, you create immediately through the medium of the fourth dimension, through time. So give thanks in the past, in the present, and in the future. So for example, thank you so much for the pay increase that my employer surprised me with. Past. I am so grateful for this new reliable car that I have to travel around with my family safely. That's present. Thank you for healing my family and safeguarding our health and well-being. Present. Oh, thank you for the gifts of physical and spiritual protection, the financial abundance and prosperity that continually find their way to me. That is both present and future. And one thing I do want to say here is do not make yourself lowly or in a pitiful position here. You are not begging. You are collaborating with the universe. You are gods and goddesses, children of the Most High, source, spirit, creator, creatrix. Remember? All right, so act like it. Now, this next step is up to personal preference, but I would be remiss if I did not include root work into increasing your power in manifesting your desire. So root work is a combination of all of these things that we just spoke about, to put it very simply. It incorporates aspects from the physical realm that may have held specific spiritual, psychological significance throughout the ages, in conjunction with the spiritual work that we talked about earlier, which is why it's so powerful and why many of our ancestors use some form of root work to achieve and or expedite the fulfillment of their goals. So think about the role that root work played in the Haitian Revolution, which ultimately paved the road for the emancipation of enslaved Africans all throughout the Americas. So root work can be done through the use of herbs. Each herb has a specific use or medicine. So you can use herbs intentionally while you're cooking or making tea, intentionally using specific herbs for specific purposes. And also they can be used in connection with candles and prayers. The reality is that your great grandparents were working the roots while they were plowing the fields and sowing the seeds and gardening with intention and focus and cooking life sustaining meals for the family with the nutrient deficient scraps that they had available by praying and meditating and singing life and pouring love into the food as they prepared it and lighting candles and sending prayers of protection to cover the family. I'm gonna leave that right there. But it can also look like communing intentionally with sacred herbs such as psilocybin or cannabis or ayahuasca or other sacred plant teachers and plant medicines. That's what root work looks like most of the time. It's not some dark, evil, black magic that some religious heretics would have you believe. Root work is the original magic. It's the original medicine that was used to heal not only the sick body, but also the ailments of the mind, the heart, and the spirit. Ultimately, our work is calling in what it is we want to experience with absolute certainty that it is inevitable that it happens, that it comes to pass. The Bible says that faith without works is dead, but also the inverse can be true. Work without faith can also be dead because you can be putting in the work, but if you don't believe in yourself, you have doubts that it's going to happen for you, you'll hinder the manifestation because you might only be looking at the negatives or your shortcomings or what's lacking or what could possibly go wrong, so much so that you'll be blind with that in the forefront of your mind that you don't see the opportunities when they do arise. And therefore, you're impeding your own ability to bring the desired goal to fulfillment. So again, our work is calling in what it is that we want to experience with absolute certainty, without a doubt whatsoever. We are extensions of God. We are the sons and daughters, the children of God, thus gods ourselves. And God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay. So I pray and I trust that you got the word that you needed today. As always, I'm sending you love. I'm sending you life. I'm sending you power. And I see you. I love you. You got this, Ran. All right. Go get it. Peace.